Dahlia here, welcome to my channel. Last week's vlog was part 10 of my creating a character series, the topic being flaws and skills. This week is all about the horrible words, phrases, and mistakes we all rely on to create our first draft. I'm talking about those that make your manuscript clunky, boring, or amateur. If you think this doesn't apply to you, well, I'm here to tell you that it probably does. There are many more filter words than you would have ever thought. But enough of the chit chat, let's get into the video. Number 1, this versus that. By that, I don't actually mean this versus that. What I mean is certain words that sound kind of awkward in some sentences and could be replaced by a different word. I'll start with who versus that. If you're talking about someone, say the woman at the bank, and you want to describe something that they have done or are doing or anything like that, then you use the word who, because she is a person. So, the woman at the bank who rang me was kind. Well, you can also use the word that, your sentence will sound a little bit awkward. The word who can also be used in simpler sentences, such as Alia is the girl who wanted to save her country. So when do you use that? The word that introduces a defining clause or a definitive clause. I have 2 vlogs pertaining to this subject, which I will link in the cards, but for those who don't know, a defining clause is something that shows something definite. It identifies a specific person, object, or thing in a sentence, such as she worked at the bank that rang me. We wouldn't know why the bank was important without the additive. Moving on, the next this versus that to consider is which versus that. I've already explained the use of that, but which, a non-defining clause, describes something in a sentence that isn't necessarily needed. Consider this: she worked at the bank which rang me. In short, that adds in vital information to the sentence, while which just adds in information. Number 2, tautologies, pleonasms, and cliché. What the heck are all of those? They are all very similar and all very useless. I'll start with tautologies. Tautology is a sentence that are full of repetitive words that basically mean the same thing, but it can also refer to 2 similar words together. An example of which is this: Alex was a tiny little child. She liked to talk a lot and energetically. Without the tautologies, the sentence would read, Alex was a child, she talked a lot. Not only does this clean up your manuscript, it also lowers your word count, which creates more of an impact on your reader. Then what is a pleonasm? There is much debate in the editing world about the differences between tautologies and pleonasms. However, while tautologies basically repeats the same word, pleonasm is the use of 2 words describing the same thing. See how it can get a bit confusing? A pleonasm is something like a true fact or an added bonus. Consider this sentence: it is a true fact that she was in close proximity to the widowed woman. Here is a sentence without pleonasms. It is a true fact that she was close to the widow. Not only was that sentence shorter, it was also clearer. Moving on, clichés. What are they? Generally, they are overused phrases, adjectives, or expressions. Other names include figures of speech and idioms. While other tautologies and pleonasms can slip through the cracks, clichés are a huge no-no, such as the one I just used. At one stage they had a meaning, but now we've kind of lost it along the way and it's very unclear of what it actually means. Some examples include survival of the fittest, mum's the word, beat around the bush, flash in the pan, fairy tale wedding. There are thousands of these things. Number 3, collection of words. There are many words that you could cut from your novel right now and it wouldn't make a difference. These words could be those I've already stated, collections, or singular. I'll start with of the, all of the, or of. These 3 variations can be cut in most cases. They serve to up your word count but add no meaning to your story. Consider this: the manager of the bank closed the establishment early. Doesn't sound too bad, right? But let's change it up. The bank manager closed the establishment early. The latter is more direct and uses less words. Next is down and up. The reason I put these into the collection category is because on their own they are perfectly fine. It's when they're used with certain words that they become awkward and unnecessary. Sit down, down below, etc. They all mean the same thing. I have a bad habit of saying down below at the end of my vlogs, and it annoys me. So I apologize for any cringe-worthy moments that gives people. I'm really sorry. I cringe every time I edit my videos. As with down, up is also an offender. Stand up or up above is also a no-no. And again, I have a bad habit of this at the end of my vlogs as well. I try and change it, but it seems to be ingrained in me. I just automatically say it. Now we move on to there were, there are, and there was. If you have a sentence with any of these in it, most can be rewritten and it will sound a lot more professional. Instead of writing, there were 20 people in the crowd, cut out those filter words. 20 people were in the crowd. This brings the reader closer to the story. Change, there are so many chores to be done, to I have so many chores. Change, there was a cat in the room, to a cat was in the room. They are basic examples, but you get my point. While planning my new dystopian trilogy, I've come across a lot of these things, and I'm just glad that it's in the research stage, not in the writing stage, and I hope to kind of cut them out before I get to the writing. Number 4, single words. I want to express very strongly that you don't delete all the words that I list below. Some are actually needed, and I'll provide examples for most of the words that I say. And this is nowhere near all the filter words. There are thousands. I really urge you to look them up for yourself. I'll start with other or others. The example that I found in an editing book of mine is this. A 3-car crash killed 2 people and seriously injured 4 others in central London yesterday. The fact that it didn't state that 6 people died means that we already know that some were only injured. So instead, write, a 3-car crash killed 2 people and seriously injured 4 in central London yesterday. Next is both. This is a personal pet peeve of mine. Consider this. Both Christine and I worked at the hospital. We already know that they worked there because it states their names in the sentence. So instead, it could just be Christine and I worked at the hospital. One that I bet that we're all guilty of is the word that. This word is unneeded most of the time, unless used as a defining clause. For more information, please see my vlog, Basic Parts of Speech, Part 2. Here's an example of its deletable form. Let me know in the comments if you are guilty of this filter word crime. He said that he would return tomorrow. Seems innocent, right? Well, let's take out the that. He said he would return tomorrow. I don't know about you, but this automatically draws me into the story. The basic rule is that if you can delete the word that and the sentence still reads well, then you don't need it. Cut it out. Now, something I have to mention is adverbs. Not only do they slow a sentence down, but they remove the punch from it as well. I'm not going to go over it again because I already did in my Basic Parts of Speech vlog, but in most cases they can just be deleted or replaced with another word. This also includes really and very. As with the word that, then can also be unnecessary. The story is being told, so you don't need to write and then blah 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 happened. However, be mindful when deleting this word because sometimes it is necessary. Start and or begin. Don't mark the beginning of something with these words. I crossed the road sounds a lot better than I started to cross the road. The tempo of your story is very important. As with the aforementioned example, don't write sudden or suddenly. Describe the action that's going on. Don't say suddenly and cut out that chance to draw the reader in. The word just can be removed in most cases as well. I'm guilty of this because I just love the word just. A word that is rare to delete is the. However, it makes a huge difference when you take it out of a sentence. The darkness fell like a cloak over the town. Should be, darkness fell like a cloak over the town. Here are some other random filter words that need to go. Look, see, realize, wonder, think, decide, assume, sound, sound like, notice, noted, remember, feel, know, hear, can, could, seem, believe, and experience. Also, to think, to wonder, to look, to watch, to realize, to see, to touch, to hear, to seem, to feel, and to feel like. I urge you to look into it for yourself because once you start seeing all these pages and pages of filter words, it's really daunting, but you realize just how much you take the reader away from the story when you write, and it helps to just tighten it all up again. And on a side note, you'll make your line editor so happy. So that concludes this vlog on filter words. Remember that your writing won't be professional overnight, and first drafts are always crappy, but finding these words help to build your skills and your knowledge. If you have any questions or want me to cover a specific topic, please drop a comment below or find me on social media. All the links will be down below in the description bar. See? Down below. I said it again! For those of you who are interested, you can still read some of my unedited work on my website. The link is above and below with the rest. Remember to like, share, comment and subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more. I post writerly videos on Thursdays. Next week I'll be going over part 11 of my Creating a Character series. So I know I said I would be covering part 11 of my Creating a Character series, but next week I'm uploading the Writing Rituals tag vlog as I was tagged after I made this video.
But woo! Tag!
Thank you for joining me for today, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye!